What's poppin', Biasinians? So I've been thinking, and I know the last story arc I did was in the DC universe, but whatever. What I would love to see is a series featuring Dr. Fate teaming up with the Question. So here's how we go. Here's how we do this. Dr. Fate's Dr. Fate's biggest personality, let's call it a flaw, is his arrogance. Nabu thinks he's the bee's knees and everything in between. That metaphor didn't really work out the way I wanted it to at all. Nabu thinks he's always the one, and possibly for just cause. So in this story, Dr. Fate is out there Dr. Fating like Dr. Fate ain't never Dr. Fated before. Somewhere off in the galaxy, messing with some arcane magic that he wasn't at all concerned about because he's been around for so long and has seen all the different types of magic and has clearly prevailed over like most of them. So then a trap goes off, there's an explosion, and all this like magic voodoo stuff happens in the atmosphere, and it knocks Dr. Fate out. But right before he passes out, he activates his go home in case of emergency charm, teleports back home, unconscious. He wakes up in the tower, and for the first time in his existence, Nabu has no idea who he is. He knows the tower he lives in, and he knows that he needs a host to exist through in the mortal realm, and that it happens through the helmet, but he can't access his memories. Nabu has lost his identity, and recognizing this, and so Zatara, for the purposes of this story, it'll be Zatara who's under the mask. Zatara takes it off and realizes he's technically free. But he also realizes that he himself is not powerful enough without the assistance of Nabu to keep the Lords of Chaos at bay and all of their acolytes. So he puts the helmet back on, and for the first time in his life, Nabu is scared. Usually he forces Zatara to keep the helmet on. But now, please don't leave me. I don't know who I am. Because of course, if you don't know who you are, you can't access any power that depends on your memory. So Dr. Fate is functionally powerless. So then Zatara's like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And so they have a long conversation. They obviously can't tell really anyone. And so if they're going to tell someone, it can only be one person who would not only believe them, but have the wild audacity to figure out who had done this to them. And so they go and track down the Question. And thus begins the series of tales known as Questioning Fate. Part 2 on Wednesday.